Hey there, beautiful souls. Jess, Intuitive Angel Healer here with your Grounded. How's everybody doing today? Hello, Janice Spiro. Solo, how are you today? I wanted to get up on here today and give a collective message. I want to give some support out there because, let's face it, we're all humans. And real life happens to us every day. So when you speak with spiritual people, our life is not always rainbows and roses. And this weekend was a bit heavy. So I've really pushed myself today to get on here almost as something to myself. A promise to myself that even though you go through things, you don't have to give up. You don't have to let the darkness take you over. So if you had a rough weekend, I feel you on it. Mine consisted of narcissistic family issues, and I'm going to share this message before I get into this reading. I'm going to do a collective reading here in just a moment. I just always start off with a little message from for you guys before I get into it. And it's funny, here's the Ten of Cups reversed. So somebody else is feeling this with me too. Somebody maybe had fun little family fare over the weekend, but guess what? I'm going to go ahead and just share this. This can be my message that I'm going to tell you because it's just so funny how synchronicity and spirit. When I say funny, it's not funny, haha. It's funny as in wow, like that's crazy that this happened. If you would like a question though, my friend, and you want your own session, I am doing mini Angelic Soul Purpose sessions for only $25.55. And if you want a free question done on here, if it's one question, you can donate a gift or something and I'll answer it. But anyways, I want to get into this because I feel like somebody else can relate with me on this because this was reversed. The Ten of Cups, and then you got the Fool. And this is about moving forward. And you can see the Fool. I love these. These are the tarot of curious creatures, and I love them because of the animals on them. You guys got to get this if you're into spirit animals. It's an amazing deck. Fool, if you look, it's got the infinity sign. Fool is got the 0. This deck's got 2 Fool cards, which is kind of cool. It's like the Fool 2.0. But you can see she's about to dive off into the deep end. And the dog symbolizes loyalty. Look at that red feather right by her foot. That is, good morning, Scott. They do look cool. Thank you, Stella. I was so happy. And you know what? I paid $8 for these. $8. If y'all aren't already knowing this, Hay House has, they clear their warehouse all the time. If you do not visit Hay House or subscribe to their newsletter, that is actually a good one to subscribe to because you'll get these, hey, we're having this $10 sale for $25 decks. Okay, because decks of Oracle cards, $25 a piece. You get 4 of those, that's $100. Like, it gets expensive, but $8, guys. These are like $25 cards. $8. Back to our root chakra, we're talking about money over here. Don't let the family issues put you into fight or flight. And don't let them empty out your cups, because this was reversed, and it's not about pleasing everyone. If you look at the Ten of Cups, the Ten of Cups is awesome. It's not only the chakra system, but everybody's a different cup in your family. Everybody is a different color of the crayon box in your family, so nobody is meant to be the same. We act different, we speak different, we all have our different vices. We need to stop judging each other, though, and most of us empaths have this fun, great thing of people latching onto us and making us feel bad. And you got to jump away from this, and you got to work on your root chakra, because all of this judgment from your family telling you that they think they know what's best, they're not you, okay? And I am big with my younger clients, because I think that's why my younger clients enjoy coming to me, because I am older and wiser. But when it comes to giving them advice, because this is the guidance, this is ultimately guidance, it's advice. We all have free will. You can either choose to take the guidance. So this 10 of Cups, maybe it can't be a 10 of Cups in your family, but for you it can be the 10 of Cups, and you can have a happy family in your own. Okay, so you gotta walk in your own path, and you don't let people knock you off and put you in fight or flight because you're not doing what they want, because it's guidance. And that's what I do with my younger people. I actually encourage y'all, if you're younger, make as many mistakes as you can, because when you get older, and I'm 40, gonna be 42, your time clock starts ticking, and you're like, and then you don't have as much energy when you get older, and you see things a lot differently. And I was pretty proud of myself that I actually was very grounded chatting with my narcissist people, and they just did me dirty and then try to turn it around on me, and I'm dealing with it, because don't let anyone tell you you're wrong for protecting your peace, okay? I am not wrong for protecting my peace. I am wrong. You are wrong if you are rude, say a bunch of hateful things and walk away. But I did not, because I've done that in the past. And this time I was grounded and spoke my truth and said, hey, these are my boundaries. I will protect my energy, and you will either listen to my boundaries and follow them, or we just won't communicate all the time. But it doesn't mean you're dropping off the face of the earth and you're not still part of my family. I just, however, am not going to call as much. But also, people take that as an opportunity, because I haven't been around for 2 years. So they're like, oh, she just doesn't care. I'm a Pisces and an angel intuitive. Don't say I don't care. Okay, and I'm an empath. I'm just not going to continue to take it from y'all. But I am going to come in like She-Ra and the Hulk when you come up and tell me you're not giving me all the facts about one of my family members. Just so you know. So just because someone is nice and grounded and is choosing forgiveness, and I felt like I was in the 12-step program over there, gotta choose forgiveness. I can't feed into the hate. And it felt so awesome, y'all, because I practice what I preach. If I'm not going to, I've already told myself I'm not going to talk about it. If I can't follow it personally, guess what? I'm not going to teach it to y'all, because I am very big on ethics, and that's my medical training. I'm just big on ethics, and if it's not facts, I'm not going to keep repeating it. And if I am repeating it and it's not based facts, I'm going to tell you this is my opinion. And I'm going to start it off that way. It's very important what you speak. And I know somebody needs to hear this out there. So thank you for tuning in. And because somebody else is going through this family issue. That was very clear, that there needs to be a new beginning in your family issue. All right, so we're into it, and thank you for all the likes and the follows, and I'm just going to keep going. Like I said, I'm doing mini angelic soul purpose sessions. If you want to know your life purpose, you're just a whole good energy 30-minute message, and it's only $25.55. Go to my link tree in my bio, because it gets hard for me to try to do paid readings on here. I don't have a moderator either. Maybe Scott, you can be my moderator, because you know how to. You're an Aquarius. I don't have any issues. You'll never have an issue if you have an Aquarius that is your friend who is your moderator. I'm just saying, because they're even better than Scorpios. They're like, all right, chaos, get out of here. You won't even see the trolls' comments. They'll be out of here. I'll look down and be like, whoa, where'd it go? It zapped out of there. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Because Aquarius don't play. They don't play. I thought I had Aquarius in me because I'm the very first day of Pisces. So I'm I'm on the cusp, right? Of Aquarius and Pisces. Because everybody's like, how are you a Pisces? And yet you're got a backbone. And I'm like, because I got Virgo in my rising moon and I'm on the cusp. So I think everybody's much happier that I became a Pisces and not an Aquarius, because I know when I get to if you get me from 0 to 100, that's why I don't do it. That's why I reel in my energy, because if I get going, watch me go. I won't go till my batteries run low. And I got Energizer batteries, so that's going to be a while. I could tell you stories from back in the day, so make mistakes. Whew. This is a confirmation right here, my friends. Number 13 is significant to someone. And look, there's a butterfly, though. I love that because, see, people get scared of this card. But know that this is an ending, because due to us having free will, sometimes we won't end stuff that we know. I just made a video yesterday. My loyalty kept me in places that my common sense should have taken me out of. That's where this guy comes in, the Reaper. He comes in and levels the playing field. Okay, if you look on the Rider-Waite one, it's the Grim Reaper on a horse, and the king is below him, because ultimately it just needs to... I feel like the king was a traitor, and that's why the king is getting trampled on that. There's so many cool interpretations for tarot, and that's why it's kind of cool. No reader will ever give you the same information. This is your confirmation, though, for those of you. So don't freak out here, because I used to freak out when I was brand new to this. And I was like, what do you mean? Because this is coming, so this can come. This is the Queen of Swords. The Queen of Swords is an older lady. She's wise, usually a widow. But she's kind of callous too, okay? But she's got clarity. Swords are about mental chatter, mind. And peacock, she's got a peacock feather there, because peacocks are very glamorous, very beautiful. Okay, she knows her worth. She's made it through the trenches. She's pretty wise. She's married to the King of Swords, okay? She's got to have a backbone if she's going to be with the King of Swords, because if he's unbalanced, wow, he's, not a nice guy. She wants you to sit, and she's got a blue dress because it's about sitting in your truth, telling yourself the truth. And look at this this came out again. So isn't that crazy? Look. You're going to have an ending. This is going to be an ending that's going to burn that bridge, so you can't keep going back to that toxic option. Okay, that's why this guy comes in, to help you stop being tempted to go back to the past. So this guy comes in and makes that, all right, it's just going to clear. And he comes and serves. It's pretty black and white with him. Because it's not about ego, who he thinks. It's about serving justice. It's about taking out what doesn't belong. So when this guy comes up, he just takes out what doesn't vibrationally match anymore. She's coming in to let you know to take this time to build your foundation. Take advantage of this and build your foundation on truth and love. And don't fill it with... Be very sharp and direct with your thoughts, okay? Be very clear with them, too. And Peacock is about a transformation, too. And you've got this Fool again, which is the dog. And I just made a video yesterday about toxic loyalty. So who are you going to be loyal to? And don't get too reckless about if these people get you in your fight or flight, because ultimately they want you to jump off that cliff. They want you to just walk right off of it. That's what they're trying to lead you into right now. But if you're in your Queen of Swords energy, you're not going to let that happen, because you're going to be like, I know the truth. I'm sitting in my truth. Sometimes it doesn't always make sense when it's happening. But I'll let you know that despite what other people have taught, this is what I've learned on my spiritual journey. And the angels have taught me, because I had a really, really, really hard time understanding religion. It never made sense to me. That's why I'm a spiritualist, because I believe in all religions. But I'm learning that we have free will to choose, okay? And if we stand in our power and our truth and stop, people are coming into our life as a lesson, a blessing, or both, okay? And if they're coming in as a lesson, assure yourself that the universe never takes what is not meant to, that is meant for you. So if this guy comes in and takes something from you, our ego immediately kicks in and says, the universe is mean, God's mean, everybody's taking everything away from me. But yet we forget 2 weeks ago, we were sitting there praying to God, saying, please, God, take all the rats and snakes out of my life, because I can't handle the deception anymore. And then you got a wide awakening, because you're like, oh my God, Sally Sue is the rat. I've been entertaining rats my whole time at my table. I'm here in my TikTok. Cat Williams. Judas only had 12 friends. And one of them was a traitor. And he let him sit at his table. I would have, not me, I would have at any moment, I would have busted him out, been like, you gonna sit at my table, Judas? Don't you know I can walk on water? Turn you into a frog. You gotta check out that video if you haven't seen it. Because it's true. And you know what? I will let a hater sit at my table. Sometimes it's fun to observe and see what you're going to do. Because most of us are already 10 steps ahead of the game. Most of us are just a little more healed than we were when we were younger. And a true successful person, somebody who's truly grounded and loves themselves, is going to observe before you react. And if you've been through trauma, somebody this is hitting to, you know damn well you're going to go get all the facts, because you've already had that narcissistic conversation, and you better be on point with everything you say, because if it ain't facts, even if it is facts, you're not going to win that conversation, so stop engaging. But prepare yourself, because that is how you make, it won't ever stop with them. I promise you it won't. It's like, it's a personality disorder, and it's either you're an empath or a narcissist. Okay, if you're a narcissist, that's what you're going to live out the rest of your time, unless you have a major spiritual awakening and the angels have something for you to do. Because ultimately, it's very, very hard for most of them to come out of it, because most of them won't go to get help, because they don't believe they have a problem. Because it's like a psychological personality disorder. So when I'm understanding that, I don't know, my ex taught me a lot of things. And that's why when I get into conflict or I get into conversations, I don't just, it's not about being louder than the other person. That person doesn't win. It's about who's smarter. And when it comes down to it, just like this guy, it don't matter what your ego says. It matters what the facts say. So that's why I've learned, even though words can hurt, the truth hurts far less than a lie. So I'm going to speak my truth, and angels are going to give y'all that new beginning. But with that new beginning, know that you're going to have a lot of different options here. Okay, but you're looking at all your options and you can see there's snakes in there. There's ghost of the past. Hey, you got a bone in there. Okay. But you're looking at your options. You're almost overwhelmed with all the options of, I'm going to pick the wrong option and I'm going to fail. And that's the mindset you got to get out of, because who cares if you pick the one with the snake? You get bit, you learn, because if it's for you to learn, the angels are going to be there to protect you. So ultimately, the worst is not going to happen if you're actually getting up. That's what helped me to get up and start actually going on this path, is because you're divinely protected. And that's the best kind of protection. Now, you're not going to go throw that around like I'm divinely protected, I do what I want. No, because then you're going to get karma, and then you are going to get a little dose of that. But when you're making choices and you're doing them for what's best for you, guess what? You're divinely protected. And if the angels are going to reward you for getting up and actually making that choice. So when it comes down to it, it gets a little overwhelming, like, am I making the right choice or the wrong choice? But I've learned there's really no right or wrong choices, unless there's obviously just logically, that's not a good decision. We just know those. Hurting someone or doing something illegal is not a good decision. But other than that, there's really no right or wrong decisions when it comes to, am I going to mess up my whole life? There's no possibility. You can't mess up your whole life, I promise you. I am the queen of lessons. You can't mess up your life. You're just going to take a longer road. You're going to take the scenic road to your success. But if you don't give up, you'll get your success, okay? So just know that you can get out of this mental prison that you've put yourself in. Really start working on your root chakra. Take that blindfold off, okay? The fear has you with this blindfold on because you don't want to see the future, because you're so afraid that you're paralyzed in fear here. Okay, and like, I agree, you should, it's normal to feel fear because you're coming in here and somebody obviously tied you up, put a blindfold on you and stuck you in the middle of nowhere. Okay, but look at that. You can walk out of there, but you just need to feel, and you need to get closer and start using your five senses of, you can touch, okay, can I get out? And feel around to get that hole. If you feel like you're in this dark pit, your angels want you to know you can get out of it, but you have to take that blindfold off first. So, all right. So if you guys are asking questions right now, I'm doing a collective, and if you would like a personal reading, you can give me a donation between $2 and $15 on my Cash App, and let me know, and I'll pop it up here, and then I'll call you on the screen. Because right now I'm doing a collective. But if you want your answer, yeah, I have no problem answering your question, but I need you to, if you really want to make sure it gets answered, I need you to drop me a little equal exchange for my energy here, because I know how many people are reading cards on here right now. So let's see about Virginia. Is it Jess or Marshall? Let's see. I normally don't burn bridges, but I'm ready to burn the sucker down to the ground. Yes, and some bridges need to be burnt, Scott, because sometimes it's a temptation. Okay, that's why I walk away sometimes, because I know that I can't trust me around you. Kind of like a toxic guy, right? Like, I know that I need to keep my distance because I'm going to give in, and we don't need to hang out because I'm going to give in, and I'm going to start this toxic roller coaster all over again. And there have been songs made about this. Somebody out there is resonating with this. Please hit the like button if you're feeling what I'm just saying. Hi, mom of Sadishka. So self-control is important. Words are power. Please put yourself first. Exactly. And Susan, yeah, everything happens for a reason. And if you guys are in here and you're vibing with this message, you were meant to hear it. And it's kind of funny. I feel like Raven Simone sometimes, if you guys have seen that show, That's So Raven, and some other spiritual people out there, because it's funny when you hear messages from spirit, it's not always going to come in clearly like they make it look in Hollywood, okay? And so sometimes you will get those messages transposed. Sometimes you will get the information backwards. And also, if you are ever reading, I'm just going to tell you, this is what started my whole thing. I came on and somebody tapped into my energy. I was just cruising through the lives, and all of a sudden I heard my name, and it freaked me out when people do this. So I don't try to do this to you guys. And then all of a sudden I hear your brother dying, and I'm like, don't do this. If you're a reader and you see that, maybe DM that person and have a little convo. But it kills me because I just got like sideswiped at like 6 a.m. about a whole family message, and that's how spirit comes and talks to you guys too. So everything happens for a reason, and if you're trying to ignore something, guess what? You can't, because I have walked away from my family for 2 years, and spirit pops in when they need to. And I even had my little things. I was out here just practicing with my little charms, and I get a message. It literally says phones my brother, and it spelled out my brother's name, and I was like, that's very specific. And I wasn't even asking anything about this. I was just practicing. So pay attention. Spirit's always answering your prayers. A prayer never goes unanswered, by the way. And you guys are here with me, so you're here right now getting this message. I'm an answer to prayers, so you gotta hear. Yeah, and I'm telling you, just because you have the gift, there's called discernment. These lips will never say things like, you have to follow my advice, because there's free will. And I will never, I don't do pregnancies, I don't do death. I don't do life and death. You know why? Because I'm not God. Not my department. Miracles happen all the time. I've seen people dead for hours, 8 hours, and then all of a sudden they pop back up alive. Okay, that's God. Not my department. Please don't put that burden on me to put that burden on you. Because I even told my doctor when I worked at infectious disease, hey, you're the doctor. If someone comes in here and they got a cancer diagnosis, guess who's going to drop that heavy burden on them? You know why? Because you're the doctor, not my job. I'm a medical assistant. I stand in that firm. I know what I can and can't do. And I am not you're not going to bully me into it. And if anybody ever does that to you and you're not a doctor, not your place. Okay? It is my place to come in there and console and pick up that person when they fall on my exam floor because now their life's over. Yeah, that's my job, and to now do the aftercare. My job is not to break that news to you. And I stood very firm because I worked at a GI clinic. We had many issues of people just all of a sudden getting rectal cancer. And when you get that diagnosis, sometimes it's instant. Farrah Fawcett was a very big thing out there that it's instant. So if you haven't got your colonoscopy and you're over 50, or you have, please go get it, because you can, rectal cancer and polyps, it can actually be prevented, but that's the only way. And I'm telling you this from a girl who worked in a GI clinic for almost 2 years. When the tube goes in, that's the way the polyps come off your colon, and that's how those polyps not staying on your colon is how you don't get cancer, okay? But if you don't go in there, because the procedure is embarrassing, but you know what? You're asleep the whole time, and you wake up and it's over. Okay, the most evasive part of it is actually taking the stuff to cleanse yourself. But I saved my ex's life because I have this knowledge, and he ended up having 1.5 feet of his colon having to be removed because it got decayed in there. And if he wouldn't have got that removed, he would be having cancer. It's crazy. I saved my narcissist. But that's where you start awakening, and you understand to learn to send love and light to your enemies. And the more someone sends hate to you, combat it with your love and light. Because I want to remind you that the more you shine your light, the more the darkness goes away. The more you join the darkness, the more the darkness succumbs and takes over you. Somebody really needs to hear this. And this 4 of Wands here, this is 11-11 too. Somebody's been seeing 11-11 because you can see, the 2 wands on each side, 4 of Wands. And it comes with this Queen of Cups energy. Queen of Cups, it's reversed because you're not sitting, you're not emotionally grounded right now. You need to more get in this energy of being happy and festive and creative and letting the waves not crash. They're not going over you. The ebb and flow of life is crashing over you right now, and you're feeling drowned by life. Okay. And that's where I'm seeing this not being able to set forward. I really feel like this is a fire element, Sagittarius, Leo. Aries. You need to go set out on new adventures because all this is very emotionally draining for you right now, and it's preventing you from putting your best foot forward. And see, that red just keeps popping up because see the red and the yellow, that's about enlightenment, courage. Yellow's about courage, red's about safety, security, passion for life. I'm hearing stop building your foundation on sand, okay? Because you're going to sink. And also stop trying to blend in, okay? You were, I'm hearing the song, Baby, You Were Born This Way by Lady Gaga. What other messages do you have here for my collective? A pearl is significant for someone if your name is Pearl, mother of pearl. And also the reference to a pearl, that a pearl was made out of sand. So somebody out there needs to hear that a pearl was made from a single tiny grain of sand. So it's really important for you to remember what a miracle of God you are. Those little tiny sand particles made this beautiful pearl. Your angels want you to know that you're a beauty of the ocean. So I don't know if somebody's a Pisces, definitely a water sign. Maybe a Scorpio, Cancer. Definitely feeling this Pisces though. You need to know that you're regenerative. I'm hearing that, regenerative. So if you want a yes or no question, I'll just say this. If you want a yes or no question, you can donate $5 to my Cash App, and I will answer them, my friends. But right now we're doing a collective. Hi, how are you? Good morning, beautiful soul. hippie spirit. Thank you for coming to my live. Thank you guys so much for all the likes, and I hope I didn't miss any gifts or anything. So yeah, if you guys have a question, I'm doing if you want a question answered, I'll do those by donation. But right now, until I get somebody until I see something, dropped in my Cash App, I'm doing this for my personal boundaries because I expend too much energy on everybody. So I've found if something's really important to someone or they really want an answer, they don't mind going through the proper way. I am seeing a new beginning. This is the third time this has come out, my friends, the third time. So I want you to know, if you're sitting in this Queen of Cups energy and you're just depressed, your cups, everything, you feel like you lost everything, your tears are just overflowing, look at that yellow. I need you to go outside first of all and put your feet, your hands, your something in the ground. Look up to the sky and say, angels, please help me. First of all, that's what I need you to do, because you need to give permission for the angels to help. You got to connect with your solar plexus energy. That's your courage. It's right underneath your breastbone, right above your belly button, in that midsection. Okay, that's where we get all these belly issues if we're not grounding our emotions. You need to get a protection stone too and feel grounded. Black tourmaline, jet, any black crystal, but what's the magnetic one? I can't think of it right now, but that one's a good one too. You need your protection stones because we are all energy. And I have my my evil eye with this, and it's funny, I have the eye of Fatima on there, and it's the evil eye. And what an evil eye basically does is somebody's sending you hate bombs, it's a protection to go pew pew, not today, and it doesn't get absorbed into your energy. Also, I always tell you guys, and I don't know why, I've talked to some other spiritual people, and it's funny, like, just because you're more advanced and you know more, like, it doesn't matter to me. I still go back to the basics, because amethyst is not only my birthstone, but it is also the best crystal you can have if you have emotional outburst, if you have trauma, if you have a hard time getting your emotions in check. And it also helps clear out your third eye if you do this. And you imagine all that negative energy, because I've had it, a Kundalini rising. I had an S underneath. It was like it was burned in. And I took a picture because, like, who's going to believe these things? That's why I take pictures, just to be like, well, you may not believe it, but here it is. Because it's called Kundalini rising. And when you get that energy, it's got to go somewhere, but it's like activating you and putting, I don't know, it's the craziest thing. But also you get these static headaches when people are sending you negative energy, or you're just thinking a little too hard. That's why I couldn't come on here yesterday. My eyes were swollen. I was thinking about my situation, and I didn't think I was going to be hit like that. I thought I was going to just be okay. And yeah, I wasn't. I fell into this a little bit. No strength. But I got back on top of it. That's why I'm here today, to give you guys a message, because if anything, I can be I want to be a role model to you guys and know that there's no shame in having issues. Okay. We're so worried about everyone finding out about our past, our issues, our ghost in our closet. And who cares? Because if you're going to judge me on like one of the worst things in my life, one of the hardest decisions in my life, then you're not my people. because my people would understand and put themselves in my shoes like, ooh, I'm glad I didn't have to make that decision because that was rough. Okay, that's why I don't judge people, because I'm going to repeat this. You don't know what you're going to do until you're the person making that decision. I promise you. People always say, I would have done it this way. Oh, would you? Okay, well, go ahead and you're free to make that decision, I guess. Let me know how it works out. And then, but ultimately, this is my decision, my life. And we needed to start taking back this power. We can all work together, but ultimately we live our own lives. We have our own thinking. It's supposed to be that way. We're supposed to do our own and share. Community, friendship, love, okay? It goes in a circle. It's a domino effect. And TikTok is really awesome that they came up with this app. That's one thing I do like, because I've noticed how much healing, especially the younger generations, the Gen Zs out there, that their parents are completely closed-minded and not helping them one bit with their opinion, and then just making them more cuckoo bananas by laying that opinion in there. And it's not healing. So I think it's really cool that people can express themselves on here. And I've seen more people, it looks like they're healing, because Facebook, it felt like they were just vomiting, okay? But on here, y'all have even actually helped me with my healing, because I do come from Gen X thinking, but I'm on the border. I'm like on the border of being Gen X and millennial, but I'm just too close to Gen X. Sorry. My whole soul is in that era, but I do go also along with the very beginning of the 2000s of something happened in 2010. I'm telling you, my daughter was born, but something really happened with like the energy. And all of a sudden, it was just weird, like this major transformation. And I've noticed all of a sudden people were talking about their pain. And I'm over here going, when did it? Because I just got yelled at for wanting to talk about my mental health. And everybody's going, shh, don't talk about it. Nobody needs to know. What will the neighbors think? That's my favorite. What will the neighbors think, honey? Hello, my friend. I'm taking donations for don't judge. I'm taking donations for $5 and up. If you would like a question answered, my friend. Right now I'm just doing collectives, but my Cash App is in the link in my bio. Feel free, and I will drop you an answer. For anybody who would like a quick answer, like I said, you can drop me $5 and I drop you an answer. See, it's give and take. And tonight we're doing the live to help support Miss Cake Me Out. We were supposed to do it last night, but it was not divine timing. It was not divine timing, and she did not feel good either. She could not make it. So, all right, angels. Let's see what other messages we have here. So let me know if this is resonating with you. Guys, drop some likes, share the live. I'm just getting up here to show some love today. And if you'd like a personal reading, mini soul reading, angel soul reading, I'm doing them for $25.55, and also the link's in my bio, and you can see the October special. You can click on that. So let's see. Sometimes I do free questions, but today I just have to stay in my boundaries, and I give out a lot of free info. I'm giving out a lot of good stuff right now. It may not be on what your favorite topic is, but it is something somebody needs to hear. So that's what we need to learn, is that sometimes Spirit's going to tell us stuff maybe we don't want to hear, we don't want to know, but the more that we can acknowledge that, the quicker we can go through it, right? And we're not going to just be stuck and stagnant. So what other messages do we have for the week for my collective here? I don't do pregnancy questions, my friends. Hey, Scott, would you like to be my moderator? I just need somebody to be able to type on here that so I don't have to repeat myself. That I'm answering questions with donations and of $5, and that no pregnancy or whatchamacallit. So awesome. Let me put you on there. I appreciate it. Really? I did all that and it went away. Hold on. Okay, my friend. All right. Yeah. So if you could just put on there, I really appreciate you for this too, because you're always on here chatting and just helps me so I don't sound naggy, because I hate to sound naggy on here. If you could just put questions, $5 donations for questions, however you want to put that. Put collective reading and then put questions answered with $5. Hello, how are you? $5 donation, and then you can put my Cash App, which is, see if I can put my Cash App on here. Okay, awesome. Thank you, my friend. No. All right. Because this, you will be very effective if you can just let people know that, that I'm doing collective readings, and then it makes me flow better, because that's why people have moderators on here, because I look and I'm like, and I won't keep repeating myself, actually. I'll just keep going. So, all right, angels, what message do we have for the collective here for the week that they need to know, to focus on, to help them be successful? Boom. I can't even, how many times did the Fool card just come up? That is so super exciting. Something new begins today. Embrace the possibilities. And it's about stepping into the unknown. Okay, so you got to get out of your comfort zone. You got to know that every ending comes with a new beginning. but you gotta stop feeding what makes you unsuccessful and take some risks. Because like I said, there's no right or wrong way unless it's clearly morally wrong. We know when it's clearly just not a good decision, okay? If you're thinking about doing something bad and then you go proceed with it, yeah, you know there's consequences with that. That is not what we're talking about here. But I have to clarify that because you have to clarify things. Look at that maze. Look at all the different intricate windows and possibilities that are out there in the universe for you. You got to step into this unknown and know that even if it's dark right here, guess what? Each step is going to be illuminated every step of the way. But you need to take it, you need to go with the flow of the river. Stop going against the river, okay? Some of y'all are going upstream, and that's fine if you want to catch some salmon, you know, but ultimately you can't keep going upstream and being able to, it's about flowing with the river of life. When chaos or hurt or any lower vibration comes into your life, instead of taking it so personally, like this is a personal attack and that the universe hates you, you need to switch it around and be like, and this took me a long time, guys. So it's not going to come easy, but it is possible. So stop saying stuff's not possible because it's hard. It's hard, but it is possible. And it becomes easier the more you work on it. Okay, because it took me quite a few years to, when chaos gets dropped into my lap, maybe at first I'm not all, hey, that's awesome, I really like this. No, but I am like, hey, this is happening for a reason. And then I start thinking about what was the things that I was praying for. Because you know what? Something has to go sometimes for your prayer. So you're kind of, you got to think about, be more intentional about what you're praying for, because sometimes we're praying, are we just praying because we're manic? Are we praying because we're just worried and we don't know ultimately? And so we pray for so many things at one time, we don't even remember what we prayed for, or we fell asleep in the middle of our prayer because we're that exhausted. When you get to that level, you got to just stop and know that all this pressure you're feeling comes from the outside. And the angels, if you ask them to help you, they will help that pressure relieve. But stop pushing yourself, going around in circles of the darkness and not going forward, because you're going backwards. And going backwards never gives you any kind of ultimate. It doesn't give you any, it doesn't do you any favors to keep going back to the past, because that timeline is not even here anymore. So when we keep going to the timeline of the past and we're bringing stuff back from our past to our present, it's chaotic, right? It's like the butterfly effect. You can't change your past, because if you've ever seen the butterfly effect, and that movie is pretty crazy. It's, yeah, because there's some essay in it, and that really bothered me, but it was rough to watch. But if you've ever seen it, he tried to go back and change that, right, for her. But every time he went to go change it, it was like, he did this thing to make this stop, and then she just became a junkie in one time, and then one time she was rich, and then it's just like but then it was just catch-22 every time. So no, that's not about going back to your past and fixing all the wrongs or any of that. It's about accepting what has happened and fully going, okay, here I am. Where do I go now? I got all this stuff. I don't want to keep carrying it. It's not going to make me successful to keep moving to the future with it. I need to start. I'm hearing Bag Lady right now from Erica Badu in my mind. It's great. I love the angels. They play music. It's part of my gift. But I'm hearing, Bag Lady, you gon' miss your bus. You can't hurry up, 'cause you got too much stuff. When they see you coming, boys, they take off running from you. It's true. Oh, yes, they do. And then I'm hearing, pack light. Yeah, 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 yeah. I love that song. Girl, I know that is so hard now. You can't let go. Whoa. Yeah, you just keep on running. When someone hurts you oh so bad inside. It's funny that this message came up. And yeah, I'm a terrible singer, by the way. I don't care. Because I can't exactly talk out the words, right? And yeah, I know I can't sing. Next, though, is we need to, with the song bag lady that just came up, somebody needs to rise up out of that toxic relationship. It is time for a timeout. This is reversed because you're busy spinning, or somebody is out there busy spinning around in circles for your man, specifically your man, trying to do all this. Oh, he's hurt and he needs healing, but he treats me like poop and just tells me I'm this and that. If you got this going, this is very the Phoenix is coming. Archangel Chamuel's coming. Wants you to know that's not love. That's toxic love. Toxic love is just like drinking poison. It's going to eventually hurt you. If it doesn't hurt you, maybe there's just traces at the beginning. That's why toxic love doesn't hurt at the beginning, because it's that desire you're fulfilling. That's why it's so like, why am I so stuck on this person? They are obviously not a good person for me. That's because it's because you're not seeing the spell they put over you, the addiction that you have within you. That is what is calling you to these toxic relationships. Not because you're stupid, not because you want to be treated like poop. If you're tired of meeting that toxic Larry, gaslighting Larry and toxic Tony, you got to rise above and you got to start working on your sacral, and you got to start focusing on yourself, because you running out of energy, making yourself crazy, is not going to heal another person. And if a guy don't want to heal, some of y'all need to hear this. If a girl don't want to heal, you ain't going to make them heal. No amount of love. I'm the most lovingest, caringest person. I can hug you and literally make you feel like the angel's hug of love, because I know how powerful my hugs are, especially if you're feeling really sad, because I'm an energy healer, so I can bring that feeling of love to you. I've actually felt what love is, and I've always had a concept of what love is. I just didn't understand the toxic thing because it wasn't taught to me right. But now that I understand all this, I stay out of those toxic shadows because it's unrequited. You're going to give and give and give, and they're going to sit there and blame and blame and blame and take and take and take. Stop doing it. Take some time for you. This world, it feels like you're spinning off of this world right now. Take a moment for you. Nobody else matters right now, okay? Nobody matters. Nothing. Take you. What do you want? What do you desire? What makes you happy? What fills up your cup today? Because some people need to be nursed back to life. Some people need to be loved back to life. But some people are also very complacent, and when they get to a certain point that they don't wanna, you can share your love and light, but at that point you need to make your discernment of, is this a really good place to focus all my energy on? It's not about abandoning someone and leaving them and saying, I just can't deal with you. Now, if you're to that point, then that's a decision you got to make too. And you got to stand it firm as if it's good for you. It's not about if it's good for the family or what is everybody going to think. It's about what is good for you. What's going to make you happy? And if that toxic relationship don't make you happy, I don't care if everybody thinks he's kin. Don't matter, because it's not good for you. You're not happy. If you're not happy in your job, your anything, stop telling yourself you got to do stuff. That's the first thing Spirit wants you to know today, guys. Stop telling yourself you have to do stuff that is clearly not good for your healing. Stop it. You do not got to do anything that is not soul serving. I promise you. And a lot of you are like, yeah, whatever, that's not reality. Well, once you step out of reality and you come over on fly on my wings for a little bit, you'll start noticing this cycles of life, and you'll start waking up and be like, wow, I do have the power. I am in control. Holy cow, they've been holding me down, gaslighting me this whole time. I've had the power the whole time. Somebody, here, I got something for you. Here's your power back. Somebody needs their power back. I give you your power back. Here's your power back. Somebody, I want you to close your eyes and I just want you to receive. This is your power. I want you to receive your power back and know that you are in charge of your own person. Nobody controls you. You are your own maker of your destiny. And nobody can take that from you. So what's meant to be for you will always be for you. Please accept your energy back. Please accept your power back that those people took. Your angels want to send you this power. Just close your eyes and just receive and say, thank you, angels. I received this energy, because this is your power back. This is the energy. This is why the angels wanted you to come here today. They wanted you to feel happiness. Thank you, Archangel Raphael, for being here. Thank you for helping me send green healing light and Reiki energy out to my people out here that really truly need it. If anybody needs a hug, please accept this energy. This is from Archangel Raphael. Please accept this hug. Please accept this love and light. This is only love and light and healing energy for you. Somebody needs this energy to feel better today. Please accept this energy from the divine love and light and know that you are worthy of love. And I transmute your pain and sadness and know that you are worthy of love, and I love you and the angels love you. I don't know who needed that, but thank you, Archangel Raphael, and I hope you received that. That was from the angels. I work with green healing light, but I'm also a Reiki practitioner, and I don't do all the. I don't know. I guess I'm a little old school, and I still don't do all the chick 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 chick, all the sound effects, but know that that was a gift of love and light from my heart to you, and I hope that that helps your day out. All right. Hold on. I'm gonna get some incense, and I hope that made your day. Thank you, Luke. I hope that helped, because that was truly a gift in my heart. I don't. Come on, I just got, like, you got gifts and you just share them. And you can tell when I'm just channeling. And thank you for the 14 roses. Like, you're amazing, Scott. Thank you. That's awesome. And thank you. That was a really beautiful experience. If you guys got to just experience that, because I don't do that often on my lives, because my energy healing and my mediumship is better for me when I'm alone, just because I don't have all this extra energy around. That's why you don't see me always doing that, but I love it when I get to do it. All right. I'm going to light some incense. That's kind of fun how the angels, thank you for blessing these readings, making sure they're specific in the light. And since we're doing all this, I'm going to go ahead and read you guys a prayer from Archangel Michael. And we'll do a cord cutting because I already sent you guys some healing energy, so I'll just finish it up with a cord cutting. It's like I said, I got on here for a purpose today, and I know I did. Because I did not feel good yesterday, and that's why you did not see me. I was not okay. All right, we're going to do a couple prayers, so if you guys just want to close your eyes and finish up these messages in a minute. We'll go ahead and say a couple prayers. Archangel Michael, please place a protection bubble of white light around us and do not allow any other energies to affect us. Please use your sword and cut any cords and ties to anything and anyone that has been holding us back. Please shower white healing light over us and protect us always. Amen. And all you gotta do is repeat these with me, or just listen, repeat in your mind. And this is calling in the archangels. So Archangel Michael is the angel of protection. Archangel Ariel is the angel of abundance. I am the manifester of unlimited abundance and divine providence incarnate in this life. I am grateful for the abundant life I have. Awaken me in spirit of manifesting. I desire to shape my world with abundance. I see the beauty of today and the promise of tomorrow. My mind is filled with abundant thoughts. I am inspired to bring abundance into the world. And so it is. Thank you, Raphael, for all you've done. Yes, Scott. If you need to, you can reach out to me any time of the day or night. Awesome. Thank you. I appreciate that. Hello, everybody, for joining. We're just going through some angel messages, and we're going to go ahead and finish up this cord cutting with Archangel Michael. Archangel Michael, with your powerful sword, please cut off old karmic cords that keep any of my viewers here and myself in suffering, illness, and poverty. Release us from the past bond. Release us from the bond of our past actions. We have paid our dues. Help us to be forever free from karmic debt now. And so it is. And we're going to go ahead and do one more cord cutting. This is if you need releasing somebody that's on your mind that's toxic. I release you with a full heart, with love for the place you once held in my life. May you be happy in the life you have chosen. I now take back all the energy that has been taken from me or that I have given away, and I return the energy that I still hold from you. I return that energy to you. May I be free from the ties that bind us. May all cords be cut, transmuted, and dissolved. May all energy return to its original sender with power, peace, and forgiveness. I ask that this is complete and sealed now. Thank you, angels. Amen. So awesome. I'm so happy I know somebody really needed to hear this message this morning. And we're going to get one more message from Archangel Ariel, which is the angel of prosperity. So Archangel Ariel brings guidance to help you find the way towards increased wealth and abundance in all areas of your life. It's the Archangel of abundance and prosperity. That's where the cornucopia horn, she's always holding that, because if you, Thanksgiving, the cornucopia horn, the horn of plenty. And AA is her initials. Archangel Ariel can help you find a job, start a business, or simply remember you deserve financial abundance in your life, which you do. Ariel will help you to be open to receive prosperity and money from both expected and unexpected sources. So don't hold tight to expectations. Okay, you got to just have the childlike wonder, okay? And just know if it's meant for you, it'll happen. If it's not going to. And it wasn't meant for you. So don't hold on to something that wasn't meant for you, no matter how shiny it looks. Because things are shiny on the outside, and it takes me back, and in my mind I'm seeing this picture of, there's this movie out there, it's a kid's movie, and it's about the evil witch in the forest, and she's luring Hansel and Gretel, and she's luring them in there, and they're over there eating at the table. And one of the brothers, or I don't know which, maybe it wasn't Hansel and Gretel, but anyways, the kid comes up, sees all the other kids eating all this gross worm maggot stuff, and he's like, "That's not food." And they're like, "What do you mean it's not?" Because their perception, the illusion was that there was all this great yummy food on the table. It was all filled of nasty pus and maggots and grossness. Okay, so look a little bit closer to those shiny things, even people, because sometimes I think a person's all shiny and yummy and happy. You just look a little bit closer, and you're like, "Oh, I get it." So don't let illusions fool you today, my friends. Don't let illusions fool you. That is a big message coming through with the angels right now, is don't let illusions fool you. Always look a little deeper. Ariel, you can just know the money in abundance will flow from any which way. Okay, so you got to open up your mind and be free, and stop putting the how is. Angels say that how is none of your business. It's just about you putting in the steps and knowing, putting in the thoughts that it's going to happen for you, whether it's happened for you or not before, because that's where you get caught up. It's never happened before, therefore it can't ever happen. That doesn't make sense. You got to open up your world to possibilities. Repeat this prayer or this affirmation. Ariel, please help to remind me of my abundant nature. Thank you, and so it is. And always say thank you to your angels, because they appreciate a thank you. That made me cry tears of joy. Oh, you're so welcome, Scott. I'm glad this is helping you, because I know somebody needs to hear this. And we're just up in such a judgy world these days. Everybody's afraid to speak. And then you get people like myself that at some point, I've been suppressed with my voice box my whole life, that I'm in the point of, you should have caught me last year. I'm going to be nice to you, because I always treat people the way that I want to be treated, but I am also not going to be a doormat. And if people pleasing and overstepping boundaries, you should have caught me last year, because this year is like the last year ever, and I'm done. And when you get to that point, you're like, I'm done. So know that you will get to that point. Everybody gets to the point. It's about what you do in that moment of I'm done. Are you done where you give up? Or are you done playing with the toxicity? Sometimes it's not about, the grass isn't always greener on the other side, and it's about not trying to find a new garden. It's about managing your own garden, tending your own garden. You gotta tend your own garden first, okay? You gotta stop worrying about what the neighbor's growing in theirs, because it don't matter. Because in the world that I'm trying to create, we can all have our gardens and share. We don't have to be like, this is my garden, you can't have any of my fruit. Because you know what? That fruit's going to go bad. It rots. A lot of people that have gardens know how much vegetables. You're happy, the animals. It's inconvenient that they come over and snatch up your stuff, but they also prevent waste. Okay? So think about that concept. Never let people walk over you. You deserve better. Yes. And that was one of my karmic lessons. Luke is learning that, and since I'm a Pisces, I even got that in a double lesson, because most Pisces are walkovers until they get a hardened shell. Now I'm like the Plecostomus with an armor. Like I'm like a shark now. Like you can't penetrate my skin anymore, because I had to grow that thick skin, and I had to go through a lot of unfortunately, this is why I teach people, because I had to go through I put myself through the process of getting hurt so many times. And then finally one day with Ella's Spiritual Awakening, I woke up. But it's hard to learn how to not be mean and enforce boundaries. But then that's where the grounded comes in, because I've learned people are always going to think you're mean when you're enforcing your boundaries, by the way. You know why? Because you're not doing what's best for them. Me too. I won't be used again because I matter first. Thanks, Luke. Yes, Scott. Very true. So, all right, we're going to finish up this reading. Thank you guys for being here, all the likes. And if you want your own personal soul reading, I'm doing mini soul readings for October and November for $25.55. I'm doing here $5 donation for your questions. Just because that helps me not be so drained after I do this. Because after I get off here, I go and work with other clients, with my other businesses. So, angels, thank you for all the beautiful messages that you have given my collective this morning, and the healing that Archangel Raphael passed along through me, and my guides. Thank you, Reiki guides, for showing up to share love and light with my beautiful viewers. And if you would, you can go to my YouTube, and this will be on there later, Jess Intuitive Angel Vibes with a Z, and subscribe to that. That's where all my readings get, and you can always come back on here if you need to refill that love again with the energy, because it works the same even by video. Face your shadow. That's a pretty big theme, and also I'm sure you've heard this. The planet, and I'm bad with astrology because I'm still learning this, but the planet of karma was in retrograde for 3 months, and I believe it's Jupiter. But anyways, it's either Jupiter or Saturn. But anyways, now it's back in. It's out of retrograde, and so karma is being fast forwarded right now. Okay, because when it's the planet of karma, yeah, so if you had karmic situations, guess what? They're gonna like come to like snap endings. Things are getting going. So if this karma's been dragging on for a while, guess what? In the next couple of weeks, you're going to start, like, okay, because that's what happened to me this weekend. Like, this has been a karmic situation my whole life, and this whole situation I dealt with I've been dealing with this since 2008. And it's finally coming to the end now, Sue. Because I'm deciding to face my shadow. Because you know what? I want to let you know that you have your higher self, your ego, and your shadow side. Your ego is the muscle, you know, it's the bully protector. But your shadow side wasn't inherited by your parents. Okay, it's a collective of all the fears and things that they never stood up to. Now it's been put on your shoulders. Okay, and it keeps going that way down generations until somebody stops it. That's why a lot of us are generational curse breakers right now. We're like, wow, gee, I get to be the person out of my whole lineage that is brave enough to face all these things, because it's hard to face this, but no, it'll help you when you know that you're ultimately not just facing yours, you're facing two other people's shadows, okay? Because you're a collective of their fears and things they never stood up to. So some people will understand it's not being mean, it's saying that you have a bad parent because they have a shadow side. Everybody has a shadow side. Even if you had perfect Betty Crocker PTA mom that you don't feel like she ever sinned. Okay, she had her fears. Maybe it was being too people pleasing. Maybe it was not speaking up for herself. Maybe it was not setting boundaries. There's some kind of shadow side that we all have. But you know what? If you face it, it starts dissipating, and that fog that I can't see anything past the tip of my nose, and this is what my reality is, that feeling starts going away the more you start clearing out the air and the shadows. So think about it. You've got the shadow and you just need to go like this. And that's what facing it, that's what talking about it, journaling it, write it down, find a friend, join a support group, anything you want, but don't, please, for the love of God, stop holding it in, because that's where diseases come from. So ultimately, it's funny, I got my blue shirt on today because I guess I want to speak my truth. And people aren't always going to like it when you speak your truth, but you know what? I don't care, because this shadow has almost taken me down a few times. My shadow in my family is couple football fields long, about the state of Texas wide between both of them. It's gotten smaller, but it was not an easy task to start out with. Okay, I kind of got thrown in the deep end, and it's like sink or swim. That's how it starts out sometimes. But then you learn, I'm not gonna sink, I'm not gonna drown, because I'm gonna roll over on my back, and I'm gonna stop freaking out. Because if you're ever in a drowning situation, know that humans always float. That's why it's comical with the Salem witch hunt. They're like, oh my God, she's floating, she's a witch. Well, humans float, by the way. And if you're ever in a drowning situation, don't panic. And literally go like this and roll over to your back. And you're going to have to learn how to be like that. You're not going to drown, though. You can float like that until somebody comes and gets you. What's your YouTube? Jess Intuitive Angel Vibes. If you click on my, if you go to my page, you press the play button. So yeah, just like my name, Jess Intuitive, and it's Angel Vibes with a Z. Let's see. Hold on just a second, guys. There you go. So yes, thank you. He said cool safety info. So yeah, it's important though to know that you're not going to drown. And this is really important because I've been in the medical field, so I know the first thing is when you're in any kind of chaotic situation, do not panic. Panic will hurt you. You can't panic. Just like if you're drowning, somebody comes and gets you, they have to come like this and get you under your arm and put you like that, because if not, you can actually drown your person from freaking out. So it's important to take a moment, and with these life lessons and these shadows that are coming by, Make those necessary sacrifices, but don't feed into the fear. Okay? Know that if you take a moment and breathe and think, okay, is this for my highest good? Probably not. Okay, I got this situation. Well, first of all, I can't freak out on everyone because anybody who's yelling and chaotic, everybody puts earmuffs on. Nobody's listening to you. I've learned that a long time ago. For me to have the moment that I get emotional, people stop listening to me because my voice gets high and I get louder, and then I start triggering them because now they're starting to think that all they're listening to is their mom in their head. And I learned that a long time ago, and that's how I've learned how I've gotten in arguments and like where we had it got physical with a guy because somehow I triggered them to think that I was their mom and then they went back to their 12-year-old self of fighting with their mom, and all of a sudden I'm there because I'm now that person. Okay, because that's what happens, by the way, I'm learning with a lot of people, but a lot of men. That's why they get so mad and they say, stop yelling, because that's what their mom did. A lot of guys, their mom almost took their man card when they were a kid, but that's their mom. So now they're working through that. And that's why you get a lot of guys come out being really angry because their mom almost demonetized them when they were younger. Now they're older. Now they have to balance that. It's my mom, so I have to be nice to her, but I really don't like the way she talks to me, and I understand it. I understand my dad's, I saw it with my dad a lot, and now I didn't get it when I was younger. I just thought he was mean and rude, but then I understand it. So I just validated somebody out there. If you're a guy and you get really triggered when women start yelling or point their finger or whatever at you, it's not okay to react to that. It's the important part of what I'm saying here is to bring awareness to that's a trigger, because that's that's how I live in life. If you're a trauma survivor, if you're coming out of any dark shadow, toxic shadow, you have to know what your triggers are. If you have mental health issues, you got to know what your triggers are so it doesn't set you into a full-off thing. I know what my triggers are and my trauma responses are, because it's very important for you to know this to get you out of that loop of beating yourself up, telling yourself you're not good enough or that you deserve the bad treatment. Okay, it's really important for you to disconnect from that and know that you deserve better. And if somebody's yelling at you, you need to, am I feeding in? How can I resolve this? We just need to, when it gets to that point, I'm walking out. And don't hold someone in there, because that's been a thing in my life. When I'm done and I can't communicate, I walk away. It's not good to always walk away, but sometimes, you can't take back things that are said. So sometimes I know my limit and I will walk away, and that makes people furious. And I've had people point and say no and hold on to me and be like, no, you're going to sit here. And no, I'm not. And when that moment, when you get that somebody's going to make you do something, that's when you're like, whoa, hold the bus. This is not good for me. I don't care how much I love this. This is not good for me, because another human being has no control over another human being, okay? We are supposed to be together to complement each other. Whoever made up this rule that because we get married, we own each other. Just because you're my parent, I'm still a little soul with my own thoughts and ideas. And this really hit me with my daughter. And so when it comes to my daughter, I did try to discipline her, but then I would have like the babysitter tell me just like extravagant stories of what my daughter was doing. I was like, really? That's awfully like critical. She said my daughter had another kid up against the wall holding a plastic knife like they were in prison or something. I was like, never seen that happen. Because this lady over dramatized all the facts, and my daughter did not do anything of the sort. And she also would tell me stuff like, you need to tell her something. I'm like, you know what? No, because I can't take the fire out of her. She's a Scorpio. She's got that stinger for a reason. Now she needs to learn how to use it correctly, because it's supposed to be, a protection thing, not to go and hurt people with. But I'm proud of myself that I gave her that space to grow, and I did not jump on her case. So if you have kids, Spirit wants you to know, let them be kids. Let them make a mistake, and you as an adult need to chill out and roll out and get yourself together and know that they're a kid. And that's what we're like. I even deal with some adults, because if I can see that their level is not past a 15, 16-year-old kid because of whatever trauma or whatever they've done in their life, and I can just tell that they're not on that level, guess what? I'm going to reel my energy in and maybe talk to them a different way, because I'm understanding it's not their fault. And I'm going to give you that pass. Now, if you're just being ignorant, I'm going to walk away from that, because I don't engage. Don't engage. Kids can be psycho. And yes, awesome. I'm glad you found it. Thank you for the subscribing. But kids are also psycho, because I also know that I made that little person. So if I want my kid to stop acting up, I'm going to stop acting up, because my kid I'm the mentor. I'm the teacher. They're feeding, even if I'm trying to show them a good example, but I'm not doing what I say. If I'm saying stuff and my actions aren't meeting up with my words, my kids see more than what you think. That's the difference between kids and adults. So when you're dealing with someone under the age of 18, and this is hard because we get so caught up and somebody really needs to hear this from a parenting perspective, because you're really drained. And I've gotten there. I've gotten so irritated because my ex was trying to he was just trying to get me taken out of this world at some point. And I really had to work on not taking out my frustration of what was going on with him, because he was being so awful to me on my kid, because it's not her fault. And I ended up, at the very beginning, we had to do some therapy with her, and the therapist gave me this thing and showed me a list of, instead of saying this, say that. And that list at that moment, that was at the beginning of my spiritual awakening, it like went, I was like, oh my God. And I learned the more that I yell at my kid, the more that she didn't listen. But the more that I was like, hey, we don't do that. Let's explain why we don't do that, and go for a more grounded approach, instead of pointing my finger and yelling, because that's what my parents did to me. But we're still coming out of that generational thing of that's not how you treat kids, and kids aren't just little workers for you to have to push around and tell what to do. Okay, because if you really want to know, back in the day, it was almost like a control thing, and it was like the one thing that they did have control over. So they exerted more control over their kids, because maybe they couldn't have control over their husband or their family. Okay, but it got somewhere in the chaos and the sadness and the karmic lessons, it got passed down that, well, you can do this to your kid. And that mentality, I got this done to me, I'm going to do it to you. And I got to applaud the Gen Z for breaking that. And thank you. Because even though I'm not in your category, thank you, because my daughter's in that category. And I love that I was born in the 1980s, but I also know there's a whole lot of closed-minded thinking that's not making it. We're in 2022, y'all. There are some things that don't need to be brought over here anymore. I'm not going to mention them right now because we're having such a high vibe session, but not everything that is not everything is meant. Not all traditions are meant to be brought forward with you. Okay. Some you need to make new traditions and leave. Let's just go ahead and pack up some of it here. I've got a box. Go ahead and put it, all your old traditions that no longer serve us, go ahead and put them in there. We're going to put the lid on it and close it. Done. No more traditions of the past. My parents denied anything was wrong with me when I was a kid. It didn't help. Yes, my friend, and you probably had the same parents I had. My parents probably had a narcissist. And I've learned that my dad was a grandiose narcissist and very hurt Pisces. I can't even talk. Yeah. And he threw all that negative energy on me my whole life. So he's the reason why I've learned that just because I was treated that way, I'm not going to make my daughter feel that way. And it wasn't your fault. You're not like them, and you're not going to be like them. And they're going to be afraid of whatever is not in that comfort zone. They don't do new ways of thinking. So just try to accept that fact. And this literally came out, the wake up call. Know that this is coming to you as a wake up call to not beat yourself up and not to blame your parents. It's about, okay, I'm here now. Let's start clearing it up. We don't have to point fingers. Just start opening up trash bags and let's start taking out the trash and the clutter, because you have a choice to change that. Your parents had the same choice, but when they got to that choice of choosing, they decided to choose comfort and fear over it. And that's what happened. And I feel like you're an indigo child. They thought if they admitted something was wrong with me, they would look bad. Yes, you're caught up in that 1950s. What do the neighbors think about that? Who cares what the neighbors are thinking about? You know what the neighbors are doing? Okay, there's a lot of stuff going on in the world right at this moment in somebody's house that you have no idea about. Because when they go out there, they put their mask on and everything's perfect. So that's good you have help now. I'm glad that if you were able to heal that, because I encountered a similar issue. They told me I wasn't good enough. So then my whole life, I tried to do things like I went back to school at age 29, got my associate's degree, almost got my bachelor's degree. Not one person in my family showed up to my college graduation or the birth of my child. Tell me how that's justified, and I'm still the bad guy. So I've learned people are going to be people, whether they're your mom, your dad, they're going to be people. And they're going to have egos and they're going to have shadow sides. It's about what you engage with and what you tolerate and what you accept, because I will not accept your negative energy. And just like I had to deal with this thing with my family, I'm still dealing with it, but I let them know that, hey, I've always loved my family. I stepped away, and you're not going to tell me right now that I don't love my family, because clearly I'm checking up on my family. So you believe whatever you want. I'll believe whatever I want. Have a great day, and let's just agree to disagree. And that's how you're going to have to put on your armor. And somebody who loves you and respects you is going to be like, all right, if you say let's agree to disagree, all right, because I truly want you in my life. If I don't truly want you in my life, be like, no, I don't agree to disagree, and I don't like you, and I don't want you in my life. But speak your truth, because it will come out, and you've got a chance to speak your truth, speak it. Because if not, the universe will make it come out in weird ways, and all of a sudden you won't like it. It won't be fun. There's two things we're not doing. Keep your commitments and reach for the stars. Okay? The universe is in your hands. You can do whatever you set your mind out there to do. But if you're setting for the bare minimum, you're going to get the bare minimum. I always reach higher because laws of averages tell me for every no, I'm going to get a yes. But I got to keep trying, and I got to keep that same attitude, because if you mess up your attitude in the middle of waiting to get your yes, because it's coming, but if you mess up your attitude, it's going to take longer to get that yes. So it's about mindset. Spirit really is about mindset today and this week. And keep your commitments. Okay, if you say you're going to do something, do it. Show up. But don't, I feel like somebody has a habit of last minute calling off or not believing in yourself, so you call off. Stop making commitments that you don't feel aligned with either. Okay? They're not helping you. Nurture yourself first and ask with sincerity. Okay, because sometimes if you have to deal with people are going to be people. And you know some people they're just going to be ridiculous and you're just going to have to talk to them. But fill your cup up first. Give yourself a pep talk before you talk to that low vibe person. And ask for help with sincerity, because some people don't give you help because they're not quite sure if they're afraid that they're going to help you and it's going to not actually be helpful, is what I'm hearing. Maybe if somebody's struggling with addiction, they're afraid that they're going to help you, like with money, and then you're going to relapse or whatever is coming, because these people are closed-minded and judgmental. You got to keep that and stop taking it personal and just realize people are going to, no matter how many achievements I could come at you with my life, somebody's always going to come up with a judgment of telling me you're not good enough. You didn't do this right. You didn't do that right. So you got to release that, and you got to become a clear channel. You got to become a clear channel, and you got to start imagining solutions in your life. It's never too late to care about you. Imagine solutions in your life and become a clear channel, because Spirit's trying to talk to you, but your head's so, the monkey in the wrench is banging around so much that you're not making space, and the signs that you're given, you're writing them off to wishful thinking or coincidence. And I've learned nothing in this life is a coincidence. Okay? We're all a part of a journey and a life plan. It's about making necessary sacrifices. Some of you, that's why if you're like, you're happy about Betty Sue and you're like, man, I wish I had Betty Sue. I wish I was there where she is. Well, what sacrifices did Betty Sue have to make to get to where she is? That's the part you guys don't see. So don't compare yourself to other people, because there are hidden treasures also when you step out of your comfort zone. Okay? But you got to make the necessary sacrifices. So if you want change, say, you're going to have to make those necessary sacrifices, that you're going to have to free up some time. Say you want to learn how to play the flute better. Well, you're going to have to make time for practice. And then, okay, if you're a very busy person, then you're going to have to let go of one of your other commitments. You're going to have to let go of one of your other commitments to be able to have space to schedule in time. Okay, so stop overbooking yourself, but you got to let go of one thing. What's more important to you, the toxic option or the moving forward, being successful option? Address your addictions. Are you keeping stuff because it's comfortable and happy? Are you a little codependent? Are you keeping toxic Tommy in your life because you're codependent? Because you are strung out on him and you're like, I just can't get enough. But then he ghosts you for a week. And you're like, that's why I remember why I don't like Toxic Tommy. Because Toxic Tommy's not just mine. He's everybody's, and I can never actually make him mine. That's why he's toxic, because then it makes me feel bad. Because then you want something you can never have. Truly, it'll never be yours. And there's some people out here that I just know that they're never going to stop sharing their energy with everyone else. So instead of making me crazy about it, I'm just going to release that addiction. I'm going to address that and become aware that toxic love is now an addiction, just like smoking a cigarette. Once you become aware of something, that's where the healing starts, guys. Most importantly, shine your light. It's important for you guys to shine your light. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Definitely come, Luke says I'm struggling with alcoholism. Well, definitely, you can come chat with me, do a reading. Do the soul purpose reading. That would probably help you. It's only $25.55. But if if you're having a moment, feel free to DM me, because you do have the power. My dad was an alcoholic, and I'm learning that anybody who has an addiction problem, it's about helping heal your inner child. And for all that chaos that you went through, angels want you to know that you are loved, and those people, they gave you that abandonment complex, which contributes to your alcoholism. And that's why it's like you need other people's validation to make you feel better ultimately, but you'll feel even better once you get your own validation, and once you can give yourself a pat on the back and be like, I don't need anybody else. If I'm with you, I'm with you. If you don't like me, then that's your problem. If you do like me, then you'll help me. But don't hang on to these people that aren't helping you. I'm hearing boundaries. You really need boundaries. Shine your light. And that's important too, because think about this. With that alcoholism, it's like you have this... I feel ultimately when you have, especially with alcoholism, and I even interviewed a girl who had a spirit attached to her. I feel that, and that's just my opinion, my thought process, but this is how I've learned, like a gargoyle, when I'm in a full depression, it's like a gargoyle sitting on my head, feeding me all these negative thoughts. So take it, I'm giving you this metaphor too, so you can have a visual that it's not all your fault, and there is opposing forces here, because the light has an agenda and the dark has an agenda, but it's up to you to dip into your courage and know that you will not, and tell yourself, I will not be a puppet for the darkness. Because my ego, once it finds out the darkness is involved, and this is why I'm feeling emotionally unbalanced or whatever, I get mad, and Jessica comes out and the whole world gets on their toes because she ain't playing. She's like, oh, you want to play around with nice Angelic Jessie over here? Well, I don't care. When she comes out, she don't care. She'll spray fire everywhere and burn it down because she ain't playing. And that's called protection. So, because I don't let her out unless I'm just like, all right, I've had enough of this. And she really doesn't appreciate the darkness coming over, trying to get me at a weak, vulnerable moment, because that's when the darkness slips in. It's always that moment that you just have. It's a split second of, I'm going to give up or I'm going to give in. That split second is all it takes for the darkness to rush in and just expand. And if anybody is struggling with addiction, you understand how quickly the darkness takes like that. That's why when people relapse, they have such a hard time, because that guilt and shame, there's nothing wrong with you if you made a mistake, and at least you're trying, okay? And if you fell off and you have to restart it over again, who cares? you're doing it. Doesn't matter how many hours, days you're doing it, because you want to do it. And you may not accomplish it the way you want to at first, but get back on that horse and keep on doing it, and know that you have the power to do it. I don't have addiction issues, but I have addiction issues when it comes to toxic love. So people choosing things that are definitely not good for me. So I understand it, but I don't have an actual chemical dependency, but I have a people dependency, a love dependency. I don't anymore, but that's where the unhealed Pisces, I can admit, yes, I had a love dependency and did not do good. So, hi Chuck, how are you? Bust out of your cocoon today. Do something that you've never done. Try something different. Try a new food. Learn a new word. Speak a new language. Do something that's fun and loving for you today. I hope you guys enjoyed these messages. I'm going to pop off here. I'm so glad I could. Just coming on here made me feel a little bit better of what I was going with. So just keep imagining solutions, my friends. It's going to come. And come join my live tonight. And come, you can sign up on my page. Love and light, beautiful souls. I hope you have a rockin' Monday. Get on top of this day before it gets on top of you. And know that as long as you shine your light, the darkness can never take over. Have a good day. Love and light, beautiful souls. Bye, Chuck. Bye, Scott.